This video is part 1 of the March tournament on the Chaotic Discord. This is the main tournament, so it's standard format, which means we're using the standard Recode ban list. But this time it's a little different than previous formats because it's going to be a whole round robin. So you can see the rules on the screen here. How it works is you play every single participant twice. But if you go first in the first match, then you're guaranteed to go second in the second match and vice versa. That's why you're playing everyone twice. You play everyone going first once and going second once. This is to balance out the advantage of getting to go first. Each of the two matches are quote unquote best of one, but you're playing two matches. If you go second, you have an attack mulligan, and that's it. Whoever ends up with the best record at the end of the tournament wins. So you can see a bunch of names on the screen here of the participants. There were a couple disqualifications because people accidentally spectated games while they're a participant. So there ended up being 11 people after some disqualifications. And so I played 10 people. So it was a total of 20 games. So it's a lot of matches. I'm not going to post every single match, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to post at least one of the two matches against each participant. So you get to see all the decks that were played in the tournament, and you can follow along on my record as I progress throughout the tournament. Anyways, that's it. Let's get into the matches. So my first game of the tournament was against Bowling Bulb Enjoyer. I saw Underworld burn. I'm not too upset about this. We have Ifjan. Historically, Mepenians do pretty well into Underworld. So I see this and I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, sweet. Only downside, we don't get to go first. That's fine. But I do see, he's like, the Ifjan, yeah, because the Ifjan, awesome. It's great into Underworld burn. And I'm mulliganing both these attacks. You got to try and high roll for the BTS. Didn't get it. That's fine. But here, I want to armament these Talkie-Noms because I don't want to fight, because Talkie-Nom has enough Swift to get all the way to the back line, right? That means if Jan is no longer in range. Since I have armament, I might as well flip these around. And I thought, let's also get rid of Kaor's gear. Let's get rid of it and let's swap him. We can give him the steed. That's fine. Kaor doesn't have any extra Swift. He's only able to hit Enrahip and Malvadine. He won't be able to go all the way to the back line. But in hindsight, you'll see that was kind of a mistake. What I should have done is I should have swapped. Well, the thing was, I wanted to get rid of both of the steeds. I could have used 3 Enrahip counters, but it's kind of risky. But see, this is the problem. Kaor had Zerium. I would want, ideally, to swap that Zerium off onto a support. So I could have used a third armament counter and get rid of both steeds and the Zerium. The only thing is, I like having the extra counter for Carnivores, because Carnivores is nice into Underworld burn. But whatever, that's fine. Sirocco, Talkie-Nom does have strike 10 and extra. The location gives another extra 10 damage. So I thought I'll play Aegis here, because negate is nice into Sirocco. Now they can't flip up gear. Because I thought they probably have like a Nexus Fuse or whatever attached to one of the supports. So I thought that was the right play. But yeah, I think I messed up on that Zerium. I mean, ideally we go second. But 4 strikes. So here I could have maybe let this go through. Oh no, I did let this go through. For some reason I thought I melodied that. Okay, I did let it go through. I think that was the right play. But I'm always conscious of blocking damage and letting myself be at a higher amount of energy against Underworld burn. Okay, I melodied the second one. Yeah, it's the same attack. I got confused. I think it's the right call. Melody this. I'm using a lot of resources here, but it's Zerium. We have to get rid of the creature that has Zerium right away. And we want Malvadine to stay alive. With one Malvadine, I kind of had to change up how I played, where I commit more to the fight with Malvadine. Because if you have 2, you can afford to lose it, right? It's fine. Here again, using the Talkie-Nom ability, I use another Melody. This, could be an overcommitment, but I would be at 20 health now. That is one cannon, Ifjan, another cannon. I have to use Carnivores, and then they double Omar. I Carnivores again, and if they have Double Caster's War Song, I'm dead. So I had to Melody that. So here I'm like, okay, this should be a kill. Yeah. So we committed a lot. Like, we have 2 music left, and they've got 5, but we have the momentum because we got rid of Zerium and Malvadine's alive. And we still got Ifjan. So here, I always want Ifjan in play when I fight. I could use Zelf to send Malvadine onto the Almar, but I'd rather just get rid of Kaor. I think I'd rather just get rid of Kaor. Oh, so I'm not fighting with Malvadine? Because what I could have done is could have moved Iflar here, move Ifjan up. Oh, I know why. Because if I fight with Malvadine, let's say I fight with Malvadine, um, then he's defending everybody, right? Wait, why am I not fighting with Malvadine here? I move Malvadine out of the way. Oh, I want Ifjan always in play. Interesting. So I leave Headmaster out to dry here. Yeah, fighting with Iflar here is fine, and we have Ifjan in play. But I could have moved Iflar up, moved Ifjan here, and fight with Malvadine here. The only problem with that is Ifjan's not in play next combat. I think actually this is better because now Ifjan being in the middle means if they fight my Headmaster, next turn Ifjan's still in play there. And Iflar is great, untargetable. I can save Ifjan for if they're running carnivores or something like that. So Air Assault, yeah, I mean 15 plus the gear 25 plus his 30 plus strike 50 damage. So Ifjan or Iflar is awesome here. Yeah, I mean we're winning this combat. I can play Flying Advantage. It's not a kill, it's only 15 damage. But I'm not worried about any burn because Iflar is untargetable. And this way there's only Takinom left to deal with. I mean, actually, we could have a Geigen Almar, but we'll see. Yeah, see, the only downside of not fighting with Malvadine there, because Malvadine could have gone in the middle, is now I have to fight with Headmaster if they go into Headmaster. But the plus side is if Jan is there. Otherwise, we have a fight with Malvadine, and if Jan's not near Malvadine, it's risky. Okay, I mean, they go middle. Perfect. We have Malvadine, and we got Ifjan in this combat. And we get to attack first. So Nexus Fuse was on one of the Almars, because I swapped the gear of Takinom and Almar. That should deal 30. At this point, I'm wondering, like, what music do you have? Because I assume the music's coming soon. Just looking at what I could potentially tune of Zerium. That's 25 damage. Yeah. Didn't go for the burn. Now I get punished. I can play Before the Storm. Only thing is, if Malvadine dies, I lose that extra strike bonus, and Takinam actually stays alive from this. Yeah, just Ifjan. There's one cannon. One Almar. I'm still at 10. Second Almar. Yep, so now we carnivores. And if they denying Dirge, we use Enrehab. This is why I didn't want to use all or both Enrehab counters right away. Here we're still alive. Because carnivores gives 30 energy. Cannon only deals 20. They need like a Caster's War Song. Yeah, so then we Enrehab. Enrehab the carnivores. I mean, if they have denying Dirge, it won't work, but we don't know what they have. Yeah. Why did I take so long to make the decision? What am I thinking? Oh, I guess I'm making sure the math is right. I think I'm just making sure the math is right. Yeah. Elemental denial. Oh, shoot. Well played. Because now our attack just deals 15 damage. Alright, nothing we can do there. But we got them to use all their resources. At least. to be able to kill Malvadine. Yeah, I mean, we got Rec 20 now. But they used everything. They may have another Caster's War Song. That's what I would assume. Is their last music? Yeah, just play Vapor Wipeout. They played their Elemental Denial. I mean, here I could attack with Headmaster or Iflar. I think Headmaster has gear. I would attack with Headmaster. Oh, looks like past self-attacked with Iflar. I mean, if I tune of Zerium, it's fine. Dang, I keep contradicting past self, bro. I'm disagreeing with my own moves. But if yeah, because Headmaster's gear is actually useless. So that's fair. The Indigo Arc is useless. Maybe I am smart and I'm dumb now. Oh, the last music is Almar's activating Arpeggio. Is it Telebracers? Oh, it is Telebracers. Let's see what the location is. Early Impulse Beacons. Well, that's good that I didn't tune of Zerium yet. Because my Fograt would have gotten flipped down. We also have Sirocco. Oh, okay, we got Before the Storm. Like, this is over then. We just have it. Sirocco is going to deal 25. And then Before the Storm is going to deal 50. There's no way they don't have a gear that... or an attack that does enough damage. And even if they did, I just flipped up Entropy. Sirocco to flip up Telebracers again. That's interesting. Depends what other locations they have, but we should be fine no matter what. Yeah, Carbon Scrapyard, it's fine. The only bad one would have been like if they're running Carnival of Confusion, but they also have fire attacks, so that wouldn't make sense. And that's game. GG's. I mean, this is a good matchup for us. We have Ifjan. What's the next combat? But yeah, that was a good matchup. We had Ifjan, we had Iflar, we had double carnivores. I did run Song of Shelter this tournament. I could have ran it. It would have made it even better, but clearly we didn't need it for that matchup. But that was like I was saying, every round is 2 matches where you alternate who goes first. So we end up winning both of those matches. I'm not going to show every single match because there's so many games round robin. So I'm showing one match from each round. If it's a close round or an important round, maybe I'll show both. But yeah, showed one. So that was the game that Bowling went first. I won the game where I went first. And then second opponent was Griggan, and they, as you can see, are running Ursus. So we got Ursus with Grant K, Lore, and Iliar. So this is interesting. Iliar's cool for blocking you can block 2 BP attacks. They deal 0 into Iliar. Plus, you have access to Overworld music. So seeing that 2 Overworld counters, I'm just assuming Refrain of Denial. And they have Dark Endues here, that's fine. It's Ursus Dagger, which I'm like, great, because I can get rid of Dagger. I have Armament. So I'm happy with this. The only thing I got to worry about is Refrain of Denial, right? So when I play Armament here, normally I like to play it twice, and I use an Enrihep counter. The problem with that is, if I try and play it twice, you can get extra Refrain of Denial value. You can block 2 casts with 1. Because how it works is when I play Armament, and I want to use Enrihep's ability, I target Armament on the burst. So if I target on the burst before Enrihep's ability resolves, because once it resolves, there's a second Armament Adagio on the burst. Before, it's just Enrihep ability. If after I play it, then they play Refrain of Denial on the original Armament, they both get negated because Enrihep's ability needs to resolve in that music. But if it gets negated, it doesn't work. So that's why I'm not using Enrihep twice here. Otherwise, I would also definitely get rid of Bladis because I would assume he has Husk Armor. But what can you do? I could have actually swapped Ursus with Bladis and have Ursus have Husk Armor. The thing is, I also didn't want Bladis with Dagger. I just wanted to get rid of Dagger. But Ursus is their strongest fighter, so I think it's the right play. Grand K stance is strong. I could Aegis this. But without Dagger, it's not that scary. They gain 10, they deal 10, our next attack does 10 less, and they destroy our gear. But our gear's already destroyed. Our attack does 10 less. But this way, if they Melody of Mirage this, they're losing their value. See, so they Melody did it. That's good, though, because they lost their value from Grand K Stance. The extra 10 reduction. We'll take it. And they only have one Mepeti and Music, only one Melody of Mirage to worry about. Muge's Edge, 10 damage. Like, it's a scary deck if they have Dagger on their fighters. If they don't, it's definitely very manageable. And I'm not worried here. We still have If Jan for any lore counters. Mirthquake is interesting. They could get a scary location. I considered going Aegis there. This going up is actually good because Mirthquake means you lose your Earth. So Sotra's Mind doesn't help. And it means they don't get it later. Or less of a chance. They're probably running at 2 copies. Yeah, this time I decided to negate the Grand K Stance. It is good value for them. And we have a fairly weak attack hand. So, and we have the heal attack. I like using Aegis when we have a... Oh, okay. Okay, that was a troll. I don't know why I played Hammer Dash. I had a brain fart. I literally just played Aegis. This is me checking what happened. Bro, you just played Aegis, bro. Yeah, I'm just trolling. I should have played Flying Advantage to heal. It was like the perfect... Yeah, I don't know. Here, I'm a little worried about getting lower in health because they have lore. They probably also have Caster's Warsong. They could also have Cannon of Casualty. So, I don't want to get too low in energy. Especially because, again, now with Strike only having one Malvadine, I want to make sure he survives. So here, I could play Flying Advantage, but I think Sirocco is a little better to get Entropy Modulator in play. Carnivore's Keening, I should probably... Yeah, I can If-Jan this, and then if they try and burn Malvadine, I have Carnivores available. Okay, they double Carn. So there's a little less burn than I thought. They have 2 Carnivores. Yeah, it's got to be Entropy, right? Yeah. Let's see. See what they decide to do. Yeah, Carnarwin, that's fine because they're taking 10 damage here. There's 6 creatures. It's an even amount of creatures on the board. Not 6, there's 12. Why did I... I mean, I guess I'm worried about being too low in energy. Because if I'm at 15... Oh, yeah, actually, it makes sense. Because if I'm worried they have Caster's Warsong, so they could do 1 Casters. Like, if I was at 15 energy, they could play Casters. I play Carnivores. But then they need 2 lore counters. I play another Carnivores. I'm actually safe. I think that was a mistake. Because at 15 energy, they can't kill me. They only have 1 Music left. Even if it's Cannon. Like Cannon, Carnivores, 2 lore counters, Carnivores copy with Enerhep, and I'm safe. I think that was a mistake. So they do have Casters. Here here I have to play it early because if I let Casters go through and then I'm at 10 energy, they could lore, I Karn, they lore, I Karn again, they lore, I'm dead. So here it makes sense. But I even think I didn't need Melody of Mirage. I could have been at 15 energy. I would have been fine. Or, actually, because if I'm at 15, they use a lore counter. If I click pass and then I go to 5 energy, I'm going to die. So if they play 1 lore counter, then I have to Carnivore. So then they can lore twice after I copy it and then they Casters. So I did have to Melody of Mirage. Okay, good. I made the right play. I'm just thinking about it incorrectly here. No, that was the right play. Malvini would have died otherwise. Okay, cool. Yeah, Obscuring Winds. I could have played Flying Advantage. Yeah, I should have played Flying Advantage there. Actually, but that's okay. Or is it because Malvini's dying? How much energy do I have? I think I went too far ahead. Or too far behind. Oh, it's because I have 25 energy. Oh, no, I don't have 25 energy. Carnivores here. How much energy do I have? 40. Okay, I know. Okay, yeah. Actually, I made the right play. Again, I made the right play. And I'm not being dumb. But I've already used If Jam, my last Music's Tune of Zerium. And he has 3 lore counters, right? So when I play... If I played Flying Advantage, which does 5 when I have Air 5, I take Recklessness 5. They use 3 lore counters back to back to back. Then Malvadine dies. The Air 5 does not go through, and Ursus actually survives. So I have to play Obscuring Winds to avoid that possibility. Now, they may not have done that because they're worried about, like, Song of Shelter or something. But if there's a chance they're not worried about it and they triple stack it, I'm just dead. I mean, here they're going for it anyway. So if they were worried about Song of Shelter, they wouldn't do this. Yeah. And they made the right call. I don't have Song of Shelter. It's Tunizarium. So losing Malvadine and now being on double flying advantage is not ideal. Indigo Arc is useless here. They don't have any music left. I just have to go fight Lord Von Blue. Or Bladez. It doesn't really matter who I go into. I got surprised either way. Yeah, I think this is good. Try and get BTS for when I fight with Iflar, because I get so much value with it. I want someone with a little extra, especially because Iflar would have only 35 energy to Lord Von Blue. Because of Lord Von Blue's ability, where if you have less than 65 energy, you lose 10 energy. But Lord Von Blue not having Dagger is good. I thought Lord Von Blue would have Dagger, to be honest. So after that, I figure Dagger's on Iliar, and Bladez has Husk Armor. Here, I think that was smart to use Entropy, deal like 15 damage and heal 5. And then I can Tune of Zerium and copy it. So then I can get rid of my Indigo Arc, which is useless, get Droskin. And then I can also get Entropy Modulator back. Right? And when you get it back, it's face up. Just to make sure that Headmaster wins this. And yeah, we see After, what the fuck am I saying? Aftermath Fate. We see Aftermath Fate. We know that we got this combat. Yeah, Reckless Free Approach is fine. I mean, yeah. We're probably winning this combat. No, we definitely are. We got Droskin, so. Iron Balls, yeah, I guess it's useless for him. We're just throwing away useless attacks right now. Vapor Wipeout, it's good to keep one here because Griggin could be running Carnival Confusion. You definitely want to keep one, but we had two, so we can get rid of one of those. And then now here, like, we can move Ifjan back. Yeah, see, there's Carnival Confusion. That's why we kept one. We could move Ifjan back, but if Griggin goes into Ifjan, that's fine. Like, if you want to use your own location to fight a non-fighter, that's okay. So here is not great Husk Armor, but we have a lot of strike, and we still have a second BTS to play. It reverberates. Also, I don't know why. I think because neither of us can play music, but the Husk Armor trigger is not showing on the burst. And how Husk Armor works is when you take 15 or more, I think it's 15, no, 20 more damage, I think, then your attack does 0. But with Bladez, that means the attack does 15. So I know I'm guaranteed 3 attacks, right? Because I play one, this does 15. Play another one, this does, and their attack will only do a 15, and I can get one more attack in. So if you do the math here, before the storm, does 30, 35 with the location, 45 with my gear, and 65 with strike. So then Blade is at 25. Then Atmosphere does 15, 25, 30. Because 15 base, 10 with the gear, 30. So I know these 2 attacks is a kill. So I know I'm safe. Even with 35 energy, we're good to go. And the reason we're 35 is because Grand K has Intimidate. Or Grand K gives Intimidate 10. Oh yeah, I can play the weaker attack first. Like Atmosphere and Fertile Gust, the same thing. Retaliatory Strike. I'm making sure the Husk Armor triggers, because I'm not seeing it on the burst, but you can see it right there in the logs. So I know this is only going to deal 15. And then I play Before the Storm. Because if it wasn't triggering, I'd sack Entropy Modulator, but we know we have it. There we go. But there's still Iliar to beat. Iliar does have Dagger. Like I'm assuming right now. Why would you not run it twice in a Dagger deck? So it's got to be Dagger. And it is. But Storm Tunnel's good. Storm Tunnel's really good. Sirocco is good to play to get Entropy, but we have one up already, so let's go for the damage. They're only at 20, and we have Droskin. So Droskin this, perfect. We could have maybe used Entropy for that and then Droskin if they get Grand Case Stance. But we negate extra damage that way anyway, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, that's just 30. I could have Entropied it, but I know I'm winning the combat. It doesn't matter. Yeah. May as well throw away the weak attack because, again, we have Entropy. We're not losing this combat. Yeah, 10. Play Obscuring Winds. You can play Tornado Tackle, too. There's still Grand K. Grand K has Dagger, the dagger that we gave to... Okay. Didn't end up going for that combat. So, we ended up winning both those matches, too. I think having Armament and Rayhep is nice into a Dagger deck, because if you get rid of Dagger, you're feeling pretty good. But yeah, Refrain of Denial, dodging that was the right choice. So having Refrain of Denial, having negates into Enrayhep does limit it a little bit. But I do think we're favored into that matchup. This matchup, however, Ixik is the matchup I was most worried about coming to this tournament. I do think that it's pretty even. I think I played the match a couple times. I thought about it theoretically too. I think Strike is a little favored, but it's very hard. It's a very hard matchup. A lot of variables. It's very, very close. And if you're going second, it's tough because Ixik has Zelf. So here we're going second. This is the first match against King. We did mulligan into Vapor Wipe, which is really nice because King got a first turn Carnival Confusion. So mulliganing into Vapor Wipeout was key. There's Zelfing here. If I just let this go through and they hop into my backline, well, Ifjan isn't close to it at all. So may as well use Ifjan to block Zelf. Like, there's no reason not to here. Because if I didn't, they just fight away from Ifjan anyways. Unfortunately, that means I can't block Enrayhap counters onto Malvadine. So I know this is going to be tough. Seeing Phobia Plates is nice. We don't have any music that deals damage like that. King goes for the offensive carnivores here, which means I'm going to be dealing 10 recklessness damage to myself. Let it go through, honestly. I mean, I already used Ifjan. I can't do anything about it. So Vapor Wipeout. But it's going to be tough combat. Let's see. Alav is just so strong. That deals 15. At least he has Phobia Plates. We have a chance. Yeah, Sirocco. Fine. No reason to use Telebracers. Carnivals is actually giving us extra damage now. Why am I Oh, okay. I swear to God, I keep contradicting myself. But I remember why. It's because I'm running Royal Mapedian Academy. So I tried to high roll getting Royal Mapedian Academy, which makes it so non-attack damage to 0, which means I'm not taking any recklessness damage. That's the play I was going for. That's the play I was going for. It didn't work out. So then I'm not feeling too good about this combat. So here, I draw into Before the Storm. And as you see, I end up playing it. Because I'm thinking, okay, 35 damage. I have Strike 45. And with Mipin and Oasis, 55 damage. 50 actually because of Alav. But I know he's running double Melody of Mirage. My thought was, okay, it's a lot of damage. Well, let's just force a Melody out. I think the better play would have been to save it. I know I'm going to lose this combat. Let's make him force out. Let's force out a Melody of Mirage when he's on the back foot. Because then we have a chance to still win that combat instead of just throwing it out. And who knows what could happen. Maybe he uses a Melody of Mirage in a combat where he doesn't need it. It also pairs really well with Iflar because Iflar is not the greatest fighter. Where Malvadine kind of, I mean, he's going to lose his combat. But he's still a better fighter without Before the Storm. I think the better play would have been to save it, to be honest. I think it's a misplay by me. There's no reason to play it here. Like, yes, I'm trying to force out a Melody, but just play the weak attacks and then save it for when Iflar fights. Or even Headmaster. Because I'm just going to lose this anyways. Yeah. I mean, I could have Droskin there, but it doesn't really matter. Reckless Reproach. Yeah. I mean, it does 10 damage. I'm just doing this to see if I can play some more attacks. I want to cycle to the second BTS as fast as I can. Next doors is great. Good little cycle attack. Yeah, I mean, pick atmosphere. Just slightly more damage. And at least we know before the storm is not at the bottom of the deck. I have a counter here. I could play armament. But what I'm planning to do is jump Alav. I think that's what I'm planning. Am I planning to do that? Because why else wouldn't I play armament? Because my thought process was I can armament bronze flight away. And then I can jump Alav. Royal Canadian Academy is good because I have carnivores and he doesn't. I think I fight with Iflar here. Yeah, see, I made another mistake here. I'm on Royal Canadian Academy, which means there's no reckless damage. And Rahap has um two counters. I could fight with Headmaster, play Carnivores on Headmaster, and copy it with Enrahap. It's a free 60 energy. I could even copy it again if I want. 390 energy. This was definitely a mistake. I should have 100% fought with Headmaster. It was just, yeah, it was a mistake, bro. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. This does, I mean, okay, no, I've strike 20. This does 40, yeah. Vacuum Hemisphere, annoying. It gets rid of my air, so I have to use Aegis. What do I get? Okay, obscuring winds and gain speed. I mean, I'm in a good spot here, just... It would have been smarter to fight with Academy. And I guess there's no reason to use armament on this Ixik because, I mean, we don't care about Phobia Plates. Other than for Inferno Gust, which was another mistake. Look, I play Inferno Gust. I'm like, 10 damage, what the fuck happened? My challenges don't work. I was trolling. Like, I should have played... I had other two really good attacks in my hand. I should have just done that. I had to Melody this Marksman. And it was a bait, so I wasted a Melody. But I had to do it. I had no energy. Because I'm fighting with Iflar, bro. If I just fought with Headmaster, I could have used Carnivores instead of wasting a Melody. At least we win the combat, but we wasted a Melody. I would have much rather have used a Carnivores there. But anyways, we lose Fallgrite. Okay, and I make another mistake here. So, look, he still has two Zelf counters, right? I don't have Malvini anymore. I don't have a defender. But he only has one fighter. He only has Ixik. What I should have done is move Ifjan from here to here. Then, on his turn, when he tries to Zelf Ixik, I can block it. And he's forced to fight into Iflar, who's now our weaker fighter because Iflar doesn't have gear. Then, on our turn, we can fight with Headmaster and give Headmaster Fulgurite using Tune of Zerium. That's exactly what I should have done. Right? And even if I move Ifjan up here and then he fights with Ixik into Ifjan, well, then I can Zelf Headmaster into Ixik if I want. Or I can Armament Bronze Flap out of the way and Zelf Headmaster into Alav. Instead, I don't move Ifjan. So now he can Zelf Ixik for free. He could even jump Enrahep here, but he decides to fight Headmaster. I mean, it's his location. Gloomlock Swamp is good for him. He gets initiative, and his Earth attacks deal extra damage. I think it's the right decision. Yeah, and he gets Revita Flower too. Like, I could have even guessed Revita Flower and armamented that away. I think I just really did not play this properly. And yeah, see, he gets Enrahep counter too. He can't do that against Iflar if we force him into Iflar. And if we did force him into Iflar, our next combat, Headmaster's here and he tries to Enrahep, we have Ifjan in the way. Like, it was just it was dumb. It was dumb, bro. It was really dumb. It was dumb by me. Yeah, I mean, we play Inferno Gust here. He doesn't even need to Melody. We have 5 Recklessness damage. It's just not good overall. I think there's a lot of misplays I did in this match. Yeah, I mean, it's still a tough matchup, especially going second into Ixik. It's a tough matchup. I just... a little disappointed in how I played. Yeah, I mean, I Melody this. I think I should have just given up on this combat, to be honest. I think it's another misplay. Like, Give up here, save the melody, try and win with Iflar into. Yeah, I'm using Tuna Zero. Just. I should just given up on this combat and then tried to go Iflar into Ixik with Mepeti and Fallgright. Like now I'm going Tune of Zerium. We have it before the storm, but he still has a melody available. Yeah, I want Fallgright on Headmaster and then probably Droskin onto Iflar. Is what I want. Yeah, Droskin to Iflar. But it would have been better to just give up, let Headmaster die, realize I made a mistake with Ifjan, and try and win with Iflar. Because Iflar, I don't know, I think it would have been better. Especially Iflar with Fallgright. Yeah, it does strike, we're just done. Yeah, we're just taking Recklessness 5 here. We're just dead. But I mean, I've committed to this combat now, so I gotta try and win. And actually, I should be using Carnivores because Carnivores doesn't work on Iflar, so fair. What else can you do? And we have it before the storm. It's just, it's not gonna do much. We're only dealing 20 damage with this attack. The 60 energy looks good until you realize I'm taking 25 recklessness. And our attack hand sucks. Sirocco just doesn't kill. It does 10 damage. We need a better draw, too. We need a better draw, but... Okay, he actually used Carnivores when he didn't need to. So we'll take it. Yeah, at least we have Entropy Modulator. But we're dead. Yeah, just... mistake. We have Before the Storm here, but he has Melody. And I don't have Tune of Zerium to bring Indigo Arc back if he like tried to Melody my first attack. So that would have been good too. If I saved Tune of Zerium, what I could have done Before the Storm first attack too, right? Does 45 damage. That would have been, I don't know. I think so. Would have been a waste. I think I gotta save it. If he doesn't Melody the Mirage the first attack, then that's fine. But yeah, okay, these attacks suck too. Yeah, Tornado Tackle. I have to high roll into another Before the Storm. I have to. Otherwise, I'm just done. Yeah, I mean, these attacks suck, so Before the Storm. Melody Mirage that. Yep. And we have to high roll into Before the Storm here. Wreck Repoach does nothing. We have a chance. So here, Obscuring Winds does 5 damage. I would have maybe... I should have stacked Entropy... Or... Oh my gosh, can't speak. I should have sacked Entropy Modulator to make my Obscuring Winds deal 15 damage instead of 5. Like, what attack does he have? I guess it's good to save. But at this point, like, I realize he doesn't have very many, like, strong attacks. I mean, that does 5. That does 0. I should have used it there. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, Sirocco. And now we know we're done. It's over. So, definitely some misplays. Well played by King. I think he played the matchup very well. But yeah, definitely not my best game. But my record going into this game is good. Like, I'm happy with it. 4-0. So I did win my second game. I used Armament Adagio to move Bronze Flight out of the way, and I jumped Alav and killed Alav to start. And it was still a close match, ended up winning it. So that was the first 3 rounds. 5-1. Very strong record, but lots of games to go.